Have you ever wondered why it's so incredibly hard to walk away from a narcissistic relationship? If you've ever found yourself trapped in a toxic relationship, unable to break free, or unsure of why you keep going back despite the pain, this video is for you. In it, we'll explore the deep psychological reasons behind why narcissistic relationships are so hard to end and offer a complete guide to understanding and breaking free from their grip. This isn't just another theoretical video. It's a full, practical guide with real-world examples, strategies, and step-by-step action plans to help you move forward. If you've been struggling with this, you're not alone, and today's video will equip you with the knowledge and tools to reclaim your life. If you find this video helpful, please consider liking and sharing it with others who might benefit. Your support helps us create more valuable content like this. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified about future videos that can change your life. Now, let's dive into why it's so hard to end narcissistic relationships and what you can do about it. The grip of narcissistic relationships. Imagine being caught in a web of charm, manipulation, and emotional highs and lows. You're drawn in by a person who seems perfect, but slowly, you start to see cracks in the surface. Yet despite the pain, you can't seem to leave. Why is that? Narcissistic relationships are uniquely challenging because of the emotional rollercoaster they create. In the beginning, the narcissist may shower you with affection, making you feel like you're the most important person in their world. This phase, often called love bombing, makes you feel special and deeply connected. It tricks you into believing that this person is your soulmate. But over time, the narcissist starts to control, belittle, and manipulate. They gaslight you, making you question your reality, feelings, and even your worth. Yet despite their toxic behavior, you still feel drawn to them. Why? The answer lies in the psychological dynamics of narcissistic abuse. The cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard, one of the most confusing and emotionally draining aspects of a narcissistic relationship, is the cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard. This cycle is designed to keep you emotionally hooked and dependent on the narcissist. Idealization. In the beginning, the narcissist treats you like you're the most special person in the world. They shower you with affection, attention, and praise, making you feel like you're their perfect match. This stage is often referred to as love bombing, where they overwhelm you with compliments, gifts, and promises of a perfect future together. You may feel like you've found your soulmate and that everything is flawless. Devaluation. However, once they've secured your attention and affection, the narcissist begins to shift. They may criticize you, belittle you, or make you feel unimportant. What was once a loving relationship becomes emotionally toxic. They may constantly find fault with you, making you feel inadequate. You might start doubting yourself, wondering why they're treating you this way, and trying harder to please them. Discard. After the devaluation phase, the narcissist may discard you, cutting off all emotional connection. They might ghost you, act cold and distant, or even leave the relationship completely. This sudden withdrawal can leave you feeling heartbroken and abandoned. But here's where the cycle repeats. When you're at your lowest, the narcissist may return, often after you've tried to move on. They promise to change and treat you well again, only to drag you back into the cycle of idealization. The highs and lows become addictive, leaving you trapped in a constant emotional roller coaster. This cycle of back and forth creates a dangerous, emotional attachment. The more you seek validation from the narcissist, the more they withhold it. You're left in a state of constant craving for the love and approval they once gave, but it's never enough. The fear of the discard and the hope of returning to the idealized version of the narcissist keeps you bound to them, despite the emotional toll it takes on you. Love bombing and trauma. Bonding. In the early stages of a relationship with a narcissist, you might be overwhelmed by the intensity of their affection. This phase is known as love bombing. The narcissist will shower you with attention, compliments, gifts, and grand gestures. It feels amazing, like you've met someone who truly understands and appreciates you in ways you've never experienced before. Love bombing. The narcissist pulls you in by making you feel like you're the center of their world. They might tell you they love you within days or weeks, share deep secrets with you, and make you feel like you found someone incredibly special. The narcissist's charm and charisma can be intoxicating, and you might feel like you're in a whirlwind romance. This period is often exhilarating, and you can feel completely swept away. Trauma. Bonding. However, this intense affection isn't sustainable. Over time, the narcissist's true nature begins to reveal itself, often in the form of emotional abuse, manipulation, or neglect. The sudden shifts from love and warmth to coldness and criticism create a deep emotional conflict inside you. You start to feel an emotional dependency on the narcissist. You crave the validation and affection they once gave you, and you try to get it back. This is where trauma bonding comes into play. Trauma bonding happens when you form an emotional attachment to someone who alternates between rewarding and punishing you. Your brain starts associating the emotional highs of love bombing with the lows of abuse. The ups and downs become addictive, and you begin to feel like you can't survive without the narcissist's approval, even when they treat you poorly. The emotional roller coaster becomes so ingrained that it becomes difficult to distinguish love from manipulation. The bond feels stronger with every cycle, making it increasingly harder to leave despite the toxic dynamics. The fear of abandonment. A narcissist's ability to manipulate your deepest fears is one of the most effective tools they use to maintain control over you. One of the most powerful tactics they deploy is the fear of abandonment. Narcissists know how to make you feel like you're nothing without them. The narcissist's manipulation. They will often exploit your fears by playing on your insecurities. They might tell you that no one else will ever love you, or that you are unworthy of affection. This constant undermining of your self-esteem creates a feeling of helplessness. They make you feel like the relationship is your only source of love and validation, even though they are the ones actively harming you. The fear of abandonment. Narcissists are also masters of intermittent reinforcement, giving you just enough affection or attention to keep you hooked. They might withdraw affection for days or even weeks, then suddenly return with love bombing. This on-again, off-again behavior creates emotional chaos and heightens your fear of abandonment. You begin to believe that you need the narcissist's approval to feel valued. The longer you stay, the more this fear controls your actions. Strengthening the narcissist's control. The constant fear of abandonment keeps you on edge, making you desperate for approval and affection. You find yourself doing whatever it takes to avoid the emotional withdrawal or rejection, hoping to keep the narcissist satisfied. Ironically, this fear often leads you to become more dependent on them, and the more you fear being abandoned, the more the narcissist is able to control you. The narcissist is skilled at creating this emotional dependency, knowing that once they've manipulated your fear of abandonment, they can make you feel like you can't live without them. This is the point at which you begin to believe the false narrative that they are the only person who can love or appreciate you, when in reality, their love is conditional, manipulative, and toxic. By understanding these dynamics, the cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard, the process of love bombing and trauma bonding, and the manipulative fear of abandonment, you can start to break free from the narcissist's grip. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward healing and reclaiming your life strategy to begin breaking free. It's easy to feel trapped, but here's a step-by-step guide on how to start taking control of your life again. Recognize the manipulation, the first and most crucial step in breaking free from a narcissistic relationship is acknowledging that manipulation is happening. Narcissists are often skilled at making their victims doubt their reality and question their own perceptions. This tactic, known as gaslighting, makes you feel like you're going crazy, constantly doubting your thoughts and feelings. Identify gaslighting. Gaslighting is when the narcissist makes you question your memory, perception, or sanity. For example, they may deny saying something hurtful, even though you clearly remember it. They might twist facts to make you doubt what you know to be true. Recognizing this pattern is key to taking control of the situation. Spot guilt. Tripping. Narcissists frequently use guilt to manipulate their partners. They may make you feel responsible for their feelings or actions, often saying things like, "If you loved me, you would do this for me," or "You never care about how I feel." These statements make you feel obligated to meet their needs at the expense of your own. Track patterns. A powerful tool for recognizing manipulation is keeping a journal. Record your interactions with the narcissist, especially moments where you feel confused, upset, or belittled. This journal will serve as an objective record that can help you see the manipulative tactics at play and remind you of the emotional abuse you've been enduring. When the manipulation feels overwhelming, refer back to it to gain clarity on what's truly happening. Set boundaries. Setting boundaries is essential to protecting yourself from further harm and regaining control of your life. Narcissists thrive on pushing your limits and violating your boundaries, so it's crucial to make these boundaries clear, firm, and non-negotiable. Start small. Setting boundaries doesn't have to be dramatic at first. You can start by asserting your right to basic things like your time and emotions. For instance, you might decide not to respond to texts or calls when you're emotionally drained, or you may refuse to engage in conversations that are designed to manipulate you. Refuse manipulation. Narcissists will often try to draw you into arguments or emotional discussions that serve only to degrade or confuse you. If they start to manipulate you emotionally, practice calmly disengaging. You don't need to argue or explain yourself. Simply state that you won't engage in toxic behavior and walk away. Non-negotiable limits. As you grow more comfortable setting smaller boundaries, work up to more significant ones. For example, tell the narcissist that certain behaviors are unacceptable, such as belittling you or making you feel responsible for their emotions. Stand firm, even if they try to guilt-trip you or threaten to discard you. It's important to remember that enforcing your boundaries is an act of self-respect. Seek support. Narcissistic relationships often isolate you from your friends, family, and support network. The narcissist may make you believe that you're better off without others or that no one else can understand you. But breaking free from the cycle requires connection and support from people who understand what you're going through. Find understanding people. Reach out to a therapist or support groups for narcissistic abuse survivors. Speaking to people who have experienced similar abuse can provide invaluable insights into the dynamics of narcissistic relationships and offer you validation that your experiences are real and not your imagination. Lean on trusted friends and family. Reconnect with people you trust, those who have been distanced by the narcissist's isolating tactics. You might feel shame or fear of being judged, but true friends and family members want to support you. They can provide the emotional encouragement and reality checks you need. Consider professional therapy. A therapist specializing in trauma or narcissistic abuse can help you understand the psychological toll the relationship has taken on you and offer strategies to regain your emotional health. Therapy can also help you break free from any emotional bonds formed through trauma bonding, guiding you toward a healthier emotional state. 4. Focus on self-care healing. After narcissistic abuse is a process that requires time and intentional effort. Self-care is about more than just physical rest. It's about investing in your emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. Physical health. Start with basic activities that nurture your body. Getting enough sleep, eating nourishing food, exercising, and practicing relaxation techniques. The better your physical health, the better equipped you'll be to deal with the emotional aspects of healing. Mental and emotional health. Spend time doing things that restore your peace of mind. Whether it's reading, journaling, practicing, mindfulness, or engaging in a creative hobby, find activities that soothe your soul. Avoid anything that triggers negative emotions or reminds you of the narcissist. Spiritual reconnection. If you're spiritual, consider engaging in practices that help you reconnect to your inner strength. Prayer, meditation, or simply spending time in nature can provide the calm and clarity you need to heal. By focusing on self-care, you start to rebuild your sense of self-worth and independence. Be gentle with yourself. Healing isn't an instant process. Don't rush it or criticize yourself for not getting over it faster. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Plan your exit once. You've recognized the narcissist's behavior and set boundaries. The next logical step is planning your exit from the relationship. Leaving a narcissist is not easy. Emotions, fear, and the trauma bond can make it feel impossible. But with a solid plan, you can regain your freedom. Consider professional guidance. If you're unsure about how to leave, especially if you're financially or emotionally dependent on the narcissist, it's vital to seek professional advice. A therapist, lawyer, or domestic violence advocate can help you navigate the practical steps of leaving safely. Create a safe space. Begin planning how to get out of the relationship in a way that protects your emotional and physical safety. If you live together, you might need to secure a temporary place to stay. If there are shared assets or children, seek legal counsel to ensure a fair and safe exit. Prepare for emotional pushback. The narcissist may attempt to guilt trip you, manipulate you, or even escalate their behavior as you begin to detach. Be prepared for emotional pushback and remind yourself that you are taking this step for your health and well-being. Stick to your decision. The moment you decide to leave, commit to it. There may be moments of doubt or longing for the idealized version of the narcissist, but trust that your future happiness lies in freedom from their control. You've already taken the first steps by recognizing the manipulation, and now it's time to put the final pieces into place. These practical strategies are designed to help you break free from the emotional chaos of narcissistic abuse. By taking these steps, you are not just surviving, you are reclaiming your life and beginning the journey toward healing. The emotional toll of leaving. Leaving a narcissistic relationship isn't just about walking out the door. It's a deeply emotional process. The narcissist will often react with anger, guilt, or even desperation, trying to manipulate you into staying. This emotional warfare can make leaving feel nearly impossible. Here's why. 1. The narcissist's response to rejection. When you attempt to leave a narcissistic relationship, prepare for an emotional storm. Narcissists are masters at manipulating your emotions, and their reaction to rejection is usually aggressive and aimed at destabilizing you. Their sense of superiority and control depends on your submission, so the very idea of you walking away threatens their fragile ego. Extreme hostility. The narcissist may react with intense anger or fury when you express your desire to leave. They may accuse you of being selfish, ungrateful, or abandoning them during their time of need. Even if you've done nothing wrong, they'll make you feel like you are the cause of all the problems. These attacks are designed to make you feel guilty and question your decision. For example, they might say, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me," or "You'll never find someone like me." Emotional blackmail. The narcissist might resort to emotional manipulation tactics like guilt tripping or even threatening self-harm or suicide to force you into staying. These desperate measures are designed to trigger your empathy and make you feel responsible for their emotional well-being. "If you leave me, I'll never be the same," they might say, hoping to manipulate you into staying out of a sense of guilt or fear. Smear campaigns. If their tactics don't work, the narcissist may initiate a smear campaign against you. They'll distort the truth to make you look like the villain, spreading rumors or accusing you of being the one who caused the problems in the relationship. This can make leaving feel even more isolating as the narcissist works to turn others against you. Despite these tactics, it's essential to remember that the narcissist's emotional responses are about their need for control, not about love or genuine concern for you. 2. The fear of losing your identity. One of the most insidious aspects of a narcissistic relationship is how it slowly erodes your sense of self. Over time, you may find yourself becoming dependent on the narcissist for validation, approval, and even your identity. Narcissists often undermine your sense of worth, making you feel like you're nothing without them. Validation, dependency. Narcissists rely on you to provide constant admiration, and in return, they may give you brief periods of praise or affection that make you feel special. But as their approval becomes more elusive, you may start feeling worthless, believing that without them, you have no purpose. This can make the thought of leaving feel terrifying because you're afraid you won't be able to stand on your own without their validation. Loss of self-worth. When you constantly give your energy to the narcissist and receive little in return, you start losing touch with who you are outside of the relationship. You may forget your own likes, dislikes, or passions because you've been so consumed with trying to please the narcissist. The fear of leaving is not just about losing the person, it's about losing your entire sense of self, which has been wrapped up in their approval, reclaiming your identity. The reality is that the narcissist has already taken so much from you, and leaving them is the first step toward reclaiming your true self. It's scary to think about life without them, but in truth, you were a whole person before the narcissist entered your life, and you can be that person again. Rebuilding your identity will take time, but it's possible. Start small by reconnecting with activities you used to enjoy, reaching out to supportive friends, or exploring hobbies that make you feel good about yourself. While the fear of losing your identity is valid, the truth is that staying with the narcissist will only continue to strip you of your individuality. Leaving is the first step in rediscovering who you truly are. 3. The cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance refers to the psychological discomfort you feel when your beliefs or emotions conflict with reality. In a narcissistic relationship, you experience this inner turmoil when you recognize that the relationship is toxic but still feel love or attachment to the narcissist. This disconnect makes leaving incredibly difficult. Love versus toxicity. You may love the narcissist deeply, especially in moments when they show affection or behave kindly. This love, however, is often mixed with an overwhelming sense of pain, confusion, and manipulation. You want to believe that they can change, that the good side of them will return, and that the relationship will improve. But the truth is, narcissists rarely change. They continue to repeat the same abusive cycles over and over again. Hope versus reality. The narcissist may have moments of charm and affection, which can make you hold on to the hope that things will get better if you just try harder. They may promise to change, apologize, or even express regret. These moments are meant to confuse you and keep you attached. You begin to believe that leaving would be a mistake because you're focused on the possibility of change, rather than the reality of the consistent abuse. Tug of war in your mind. This inner conflict is painful. On one hand, you know that staying in the relationship is unhealthy, but on the other hand, you still hold on to the belief that love conquers all, that maybe with enough effort, the narcissist will change. This emotional and cognitive tug of war keeps you in a state of paralysis, unable to move forward with a clean break. How to overcome cognitive dissonance? To overcome this conflict, you must accept that the narcissist's behavior is a consistent pattern that will not change. Start by reflecting on all the times they've hurt you, manipulated you, or disrespected you. Write down the toxic behaviors and look at them objectively. When your mind tries to hold on to the hope of change, remind yourself of the reality of the situation. Therapy and support from loved ones can help you navigate this mental confusion and give you the clarity to break free. These three challenges, rejection from the narcissist, fear of losing yourself, and cognitive dissonance, are powerful forces that make it difficult to leave a narcissistic relationship. But once you understand these dynamics, you can start to dismantle them, step by step. It's not easy, but it is possible. Remember that breaking free is about reclaiming your identity, your peace, and your life. Strategy to overcoming the emotional toll. Leaving a narcissist is emotionally draining, but with the right strategies, you can protect your mental well-being during this process. Validate your feelings. Leaving a narcissistic relationship is a complex and emotionally taxing experience. It's completely normal to feel conflicted during this process. You might experience a whirlwind of emotions, from guilt to sadness, confusion, anger, and even relief. This emotional turmoil can leave you feeling overwhelmed and unsure of how to proceed. However, it's important to acknowledge that all of these feelings are completely valid. The role of guilt. You might feel guilty for leaving, especially if the narcissist has manipulated you into believing that you're abandoning them or causing them harm. The guilt may stem from the narcissist's emotional blackmail, but it's essential to recognize that your decision to leave is a healthy and necessary one. The guilt is part of the manipulation, not an accurate reflection of the situation. Feelings of sadness and loss. Even if the relationship has been toxic, it's natural to grieve the good moments, the hopes you had for the relationship, or the future you envisioned with the narcissist. Mourning these lost dreams is part of the healing process, and it's okay to feel sadness. These feelings show that you're human and capable of deep emotions. Confusion and self-doubt. You may also question whether you've made the right decision, especially if the narcissist is trying to manipulate you back into the relationship. This confusion is normal, and it's important to separate your feelings from the narcissist's tactics. Remember, confusion is often a byproduct of gaslighting, and it's a sign that you've been emotionally manipulated. Relief. After leaving, you might feel a sense of relief, which is often accompanied by guilt or confusion. It's essential to understand that relief is a positive emotion. It means you're moving away from an unhealthy situation. Feeling relieved doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you strong enough to prioritize your well-being. Recognize that these emotions are all part of the healing process. Allow yourself the time and space to process them without judgment. It's important to honor what you're feeling and remember that your feelings are real even if they don't always align with the narrative the narcissist has created. 2. Distance yourself. One of the most effective ways to begin healing emotionally is to create both physical and emotional distance from the narcissist. This may be one of the hardest things you have to do, especially if you've been deeply enmeshed with the narcissist, but it's a necessary step for reclaiming your peace and clarity. Physical distance. One of the first steps is to physically remove yourself from the narcissist's presence. This could mean moving out of shared living spaces, avoiding their home or frequenting places they often visit. Having the physical space between you allows you to regain control of your life and reduces the narcissist's ability to continue influencing or controlling you. Emotional distance. Emotional detachment from the narcissist is just as critical as physical separation. Narcissists are often skilled at pulling you back in with guilt, manipulation, or promises of change. To protect your emotional well-being, it's important to stop engaging with the narcissist entirely. This means no longer answering their calls, reading their texts, or listening to their emotional pleas. Blocking and limiting contact. In many cases, the narcissist will use communication to manipulate and reassert control. This could mean blocking their number, email, and social media accounts. In extreme cases, you may need to take legal measures like a restraining order to ensure they cannot contact you. By cutting off communication, you give yourself the mental space to heal and rebuild. The power of no contact. Going no contact or minimizing all communication is one of the most powerful ways to stop the cycle of abuse. It can be incredibly difficult, especially if the narcissist is persistent, but maintaining distance from them is a critical step in protecting your emotional and psychological health. The more you detach emotionally, the more you can focus on your healing and regain your strength. Build a support network. Narcissistic relationships are isolating by design. Narcissists often attempt to push you away from your support system in order to increase their control over you. As a result, it's crucial to reach out to people who can provide you with emotional strength and perspective during this challenging time. Trusted friends and family. Reconnecting with loved ones who truly care about your well-being is essential. Let them remind you of your worth and support you as you navigate the complexities of leaving. These people can offer emotional stability and help you see the situation more clearly, free from the narcissist's influence. Professional support, therapy or counseling with a professional who understands narcissistic abuse can help you process your feelings, recognize the patterns of manipulation, and learn to reclaim your life. Therapy can also provide a safe space for you to express yourself without fear of judgment. A professional can offer you tools to manage your emotions, develop healthier coping strategies, and help you rebuild your self-worth. Support groups. Sometimes, talking to others who have experienced narcissistic abuse can be incredibly validating. Support groups, either in person or online, can connect you with people who truly understand the emotional and psychological toll that narcissistic relationships take. You can share your experiences, offer advice, and receive support from others who have been through similar struggles. Fostering emotional resilience. Leaning on your support network helps you combat the isolation that the narcissist tried to impose on you. Surrounding yourself with empathetic people who listen without judgment will help you build the emotional resilience necessary to heal. Having a strong support system ensures that you have a foundation to lean on when the narcissist tries to manipulate or guilt trip you back into the relationship. Remember, you don't have to go through this process alone. 4. Practice self-compassion. After enduring the emotional toll of a narcissistic relationship, it's essential to treat yourself with kindness and patience. The process of healing takes time, and practicing self-compassion is one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal. Treat yourself with kindness. In times of emotional distress, it's easy to become self-critical. You might feel like you should have left sooner or wonder if you made the right choice. Instead of blaming yourself, practice being kind to yourself. Acknowledge that leaving a narcissist takes immense courage and strength. It's okay to not have all the answers, and it's okay to not be perfect throughout this process. Celebrate your courage. Leaving a narcissist is not an easy decision, and it requires a significant amount of strength. Celebrate the fact that you took the first step toward reclaiming your life and your mental health. Even if you haven't completely healed yet, remember that every step forward is progress. Be patient with your healing. Healing from narcissistic abuse doesn't happen overnight. The emotional scars may take time to heal, and you may face setbacks along the way. Practice patience with yourself and don't rush the process. It's important to acknowledge that you're on a journey, and it's okay to take small steps. Self-care. As part of self-compassion, focus on self-care. Engage in activities that nourish your body and mind. Whether it's exercising, journaling, meditating, or indulging in a hobby, find ways to take care of yourself. Restoring your physical and emotional health is essential as you rebuild your life post-narcissistic relationship. By validating your feelings, distancing yourself, building a support network, and practicing self-compassion, you create a strong foundation for overcoming the emotional toll of leaving a narcissist. The road ahead may be difficult, but with these strategies, you can start to regain your mental well-being and move toward healing, rebuilding your life. After narcissistic abuse, Leaving a narcissistic relationship is just the beginning of your journey to recovery. Once you walk away, you may face a world that feels foreign, overwhelming, or even frightening. But this is also the start of a new chapter in which you can reclaim your power and rebuild your life. Here's how you can begin. Rebuilding your self-worth. Narcissistic abuse can profoundly affect your self-esteem and sense of worth. Over time, the narcissist may have systematically devalued you, making you question your value and abilities. You might feel like you've lost your sense of self, and it can be difficult to see beyond the negative labels and criticisms the narcissist has imposed on you. However, it's crucial to recognize that you are not the reflection of what the narcissist made you feel. Acknowledging the impact. Begin by acknowledging the emotional toll the narcissist's manipulation had on you. It's normal to feel lost or unsure about your value, but remind yourself that the narcissist's criticisms were tactics to control you. These demeaning behaviors were never a reflection of your true worth. Celebrating your strengths. Reconnect with the person you were before the relationship and acknowledge your strengths. Reflect on your achievements, whether they are big or small. Make a list of your accomplishments and personal qualities that you're proud of. This could include anything from your perseverance in difficult situations to your creativity, intelligence, kindness, or resilience. Writing these down can act as a powerful reminder of who you are and what you've overcome. Affirmations and self-talk. One way to combat negative self-beliefs is by using positive affirmations. Start by incorporating affirmations into your daily routine. Tell yourself things like, "I am worthy of love and respect. I have the strength to heal." Or, "I am enough just as I am." Repeatedly reminding yourself of your inherent worth can help reframe your thinking and rebuild your self-esteem. Practice self-love. Self-worth is also about how you treat yourself. Take time to nurture yourself with love and care. This means honoring your needs, showing yourself compassion, and refusing to accept anything less than the respect you deserve. Over time, these actions will help restore your sense of value and boost your self-esteem. Establishing healthy boundaries. Narcissistic relationships are often marked by a violation of boundaries. Narcissists disregard your needs, opinions, and personal space in favor of their own agenda, and this can leave you feeling powerless and drained. After leaving the narcissistic relationship, one of the most important tasks is to rebuild and assert your boundaries. Recognizing boundary violations. The first step in establishing healthy boundaries is to recognize what your limits are and how they were violated in the past. Reflect on moments where you felt uncomfortable or overextended, and understand how the narcissist might have manipulated or disregarded your boundaries. This reflection can help you identify areas where you need to assert yourself going forward. Learning to say no. In a narcissistic relationship, you may have felt compelled to say yes to things that didn't align with your values or needs, out of fear of conflict or rejection. Rebuilding your boundaries starts with learning to say no without guilt. Understand that saying no is a form of self-respect and is essential for your emotional well-being. Practice setting limits in small ways, such as saying no to favors, invitations, or requests that you don't want to fulfill. Honoring your emotions and needs. Boundaries are deeply connected to your emotions. Pay attention to how situations or people make you feel. If something feels wrong or draining, honor your feelings and set a boundary to protect yourself. Trusting your instincts is crucial in maintaining healthy boundaries and ensuring you aren't drawn back into toxic situations. Communicating your boundaries clearly. When you start asserting your boundaries, be clear and direct about your needs. You don't need to justify or apologize for protecting your emotional space. For example, you can say, "I need some time to myself," or "I'm not available to talk right now." Over time, this will feel more natural, and you'll find that respecting your boundaries becomes easier. Patience and practice. Setting and maintaining boundaries takes time and practice. It can feel uncomfortable at first, but over time, it will become easier to assert yourself. Keep in mind that boundaries are about self-respect and self-preservation, and that no one should make you feel bad for protecting yourself. 3. Engaging in healing activities. Reconnecting with yourself and finding peace after narcissistic abuse is essential for your recovery. Engaging in activities that bring you joy, relaxation, and a sense of fulfillment can be incredibly healing. These activities allow you to rediscover your identity and take back the control that was stripped away during the relationship. Mindfulness and meditation. Practicing mindfulness or meditation can be an excellent way to center yourself and reduce the emotional and mental chaos you may be feeling. Mindfulness allows you to focus on the present moment and let go of intrusive thoughts that may be tied to the narcissistic abuse. Meditation can help reduce stress, anxiety, and trauma responses, promoting emotional stability and calm. Journaling and self-reflection. Writing can be a powerful tool for healing. Journaling allows you to express your emotions freely without judgment. You can reflect on the journey of healing, express your fears and hopes, and track your progress. Writing about your feelings can help you process complex emotions and gain clarity. Physical activity. Exercise can have profound emotional benefits, whether it's going for a run, attending a yoga class, or simply taking a walk in nature. Physical activity helps release endorphins, which boost your mood and energy. It also allows you to reconnect with your body and regain a sense of empowerment. Creative outlets. Creativity can be a powerful form of self-expression and emotional release. Whether it's painting, dancing, playing music, or crafting, engaging in creative activities can help you reconnect with your passions and feel more alive. Creativity allows you to channel your emotions into something productive and positive. Exploring new hobbies. Trying new activities or hobbies can be an exciting way to rediscover who you are outside of the narcissistic relationship. This might include learning a new skill, taking a class, traveling, or volunteering. New experiences can help you regain a sense of purpose and identity. 4. Seeking professional help. Sometimes, the emotional wounds inflicted by narcissistic abuse are too deep to heal on your own. Seeking professional help from a therapist or counselor who specializes in trauma, abuse, and recovery is an important step in healing. Trauma-informed therapy. A therapist with experience in trauma and abuse can help you understand the effects of narcissistic abuse and guide you through the healing process. Therapy provides a safe and supportive space to process your feelings and uncover the lasting impact of the relationship. A skilled therapist will work with you to develop healthy coping mechanisms, manage anxiety, and improve your emotional well-being. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. CBT is an evidence-based therapy that can be helpful for those recovering from narcissistic abuse. CBT helps you identify and challenge negative thought patterns and behaviors that may have been influenced by the narcissist. It also teaches healthier ways to think about yourself and your relationships. Support for codependency. Narcissistic relationships often create patterns of codependency, where you may have been excessively reliant on the narcissist for validation and approval. Therapy can help you address codependent behaviors and re-establish a healthy sense of independence and self-worth. Group therapy. Joining a group therapy setting or support group for narcissistic abuse survivors can also provide a sense of connection. Being able to share your experiences with others who have been through similar situations can offer validation and insights into the recovery process. 5. Building new, healthy relationships. One of the most important steps in rebuilding your life after narcissistic abuse is learning to form healthy, supportive relationships. The narcissistic relationship may have left you wary of others, but with time and effort, you can build relationships that nourish and empower you. Healing from trust issues. After the betrayal and manipulation of a narcissistic partner, rebuilding trust in others can be challenging. It's essential to take your time in healing and not rush into new relationships until you feel ready. Start by forming relationships with people who have proven themselves to be trustworthy, such as close friends or family members who understand your situation. Recognizing healthy traits in others. Healthy relationships are based on mutual respect, empathy, understanding, and support. Pay attention to how people treat you. Do they respect your boundaries? Do they listen to you without judgment? Do they offer support without manipulation? Surround yourself with people who make you feel safe and respected, developing a supportive network. Strengthen relationships with friends and family members who genuinely care about your well-being. Trust is built over time, and by nurturing these connections, you'll create a network of support that will help you navigate future challenges. Setting expectations. It's important to have clear expectations when entering new relationships. Set healthy boundaries. Communicate openly and prioritize your own well-being. Healthy relationships are built on honesty, communication, and respect, and you deserve to be treated with kindness and understanding. 6. Focus on your future. Narcissistic abuse often leaves you feeling stuck, unsure of your future, or disconnected from your goals. But now that you are rebuilding, it's time to focus on creating a future that aligns with your values and aspirations. Setting new goals will help you gain a sense of direction and purpose. Set realistic goals. Start by setting small, achievable goals for yourself. This could be related to your career, personal development, or even your emotional healing. Break down larger goals into manageable steps so that you can make progress and celebrate small wins along the way. Reevaluate your values. Reflect on what truly matters to you. What are your core values? Do you value independence, creativity, family, or personal growth? Make sure that your goals and future plans reflect your true desires, not what others expect of you. Create a vision for your life. Visualize what your ideal life looks like. What does success, happiness, and fulfillment mean to you? Once you have a vision, begin taking steps to move toward that future, whether that's through furthering your education, starting a new career, or investing time in meaningful relationships. Practice patience and self-compassion. Rebuilding your life takes time, and there may be setbacks along the way. Be patient with yourself and recognize that healing is a journey. Give yourself the grace to grow, make mistakes, and learn as you go. Celebrate milestones. As you work toward your future, celebrate each milestone along the way. Whether it's achieving a personal goal, completing therapy, or building a new friendship, each accomplishment is a testament to your strength and resilience. By following this simple, actionable plan, you will be taking deliberate steps toward healing, growth, and empowerment. While the journey may be long, each step will bring you closer to reclaiming your power, rebuilding your life, and embracing a future that aligns with your true self. Let me know if you'd like further elaboration on any of the steps. Final thoughts. Embracing your power, breaking free from a narcissistic relationship, is not just an emotional or physical act. It's a profound transformation that marks the beginning of reclaiming your life and your personal power. While the journey toward healing may feel overwhelming and at times even impossible, it is an empowering one. You're not simply walking away from a toxic person, you're walking towards the person you were always meant to be. The strong, resilient, and worthy individual who deserves love and respect. Leaving a narcissistic relationship often feels like stepping out of the darkness into the light. For so long, you may have lived in a world where manipulation, control, and emotional abuse clouded your sense of self. But as you begin to heal and rebuild, you start to reconnect with your true self, rediscovering the strengths and abilities that may have been buried for years under the weight of emotional wounds. The journey ahead will not be without its challenges, and healing takes time. There may be moments of doubt, frustration, or setbacks, but each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to reclaiming your power. Every time you set a boundary, prioritize your well-being, or take part in an activity that brings you joy, you are asserting your worth and moving further away from the shadows of narcissistic control. It's important to remember that healing is not linear. Some days will feel like progress, while others may feel like setbacks. This is normal. Healing is a complex, non-linear process that ebbs and flows. What matters is not how quickly you heal, but that you are committed to healing, no matter how long it takes. Each day that you choose to move forward, no matter how small the action, is a victory. In the past, the narcissist's voice may have drowned out your own, making you believe you weren't enough, that you didn't deserve happiness, or that your worth was based on their approval. But now you are the one who gets to define your worth. You are deserving of love, respect, and every kind of happiness. The truth is, the narcissist's control was never a reflection of your true self. It was an illusion they created to keep you in their grip. Now that you're free, you can rebuild from a place of strength, independence, and self-love. The road ahead may seem uncertain at times, and it's natural to feel anxious about the unknown. The future may feel daunting, especially when you've spent so long in a toxic relationship that clouded your sense of direction. However, with the right tools, mindset, and support system, you can create a life full of peace, love, and healthy relationships. The possibilities are endless, and you have the power to shape the life you desire. Take a moment to honor yourself for how far you've come. The decision to walk away from the narcissist's control was an act of immense strength, and you are now free to build a life that is entirely yours. One that reflects your authentic self. With every day that passes, you are becoming more aligned with your true potential and embracing your power. You may have moments of doubt or struggle along the way, and that's okay. Healing is a journey, and there will be obstacles. But remember, you are capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. You've already shown incredible courage by breaking free, and that same courage will continue to guide you toward the life you deserve. So take a deep breath and let go of the fear and uncertainty. This is your time to heal, rebuild, and thrive. You've been through so much, and now you have the opportunity to live the life you've always deserved. One full of peace, joy, and authentic connection. The future is waiting for you, and it's brighter than you can imagine. You've got this.